Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is the 11-month update for the 4 products that you see on the test panel here. So yeah, if you're new, very quickly, 11 months ago we applied the 4 products to this panel after polishing and prepping and everything, making it ready to apply these products. The aim was to see a bunch of things: which one lasts the longest, which one I like the best basically, which is just going to be personal preference, the slickest, the best looking, and just a general durability test, because they all claim to be a 1-year product except for the Carpro, which claims 6 months. But we'll quickly go through the products that we have. So starting off with the Meguiars hybrid paint coating kit, all of them claiming 1-year protection except for this one, the Carpro Cquartz Lite, which claims 6 months plus. Obviously we're at 11 months, we're well past the 6 months. That one has passed that test very easily. Then we have the Gyeon Can Coat Evo, and lastly we have Soft 99's Fusso coat. So yeah, we got them all applied. They had close to a week of sitting inside. Just gonna get these out of the way. About a week they sat inside the garage, but since then, other than when I carried this panel back inside to wash it, it has sat outside in the sun and copying all the elements. And I just wanted to pan over, because I'm sure you can see, because in person it's very noticeable, this Carpro is still given its section a very nice darkening effect. So it has lasted the 11 months now of looking darker. This is still dirty. It's been sitting outside. It's been very actually windy today, but you know, mix of weather this week. And my hose looks like it's leaking now, so I'm gonna try and be quick here before I flood the garage. So we're gonna just rinse the entire thing down, because it is quite dirty from sitting outside. You can see none of the sections are looking very great at the moment. And then I'm gonna grab our wash mitt. Let's give them a quick wash. Get rid of any dirt or contaminants that are just sitting on top of the paint, because we really want to clean it, maintain the products before we judge how they're actually looking after another month, which was our last update. If I didn't say, monthly wash updates have been on the channel from the start, as well as an initial slickness test we did. So yeah, this hose is wasting all my tank water at the moment, so I need to get through this. Well, my tank is actually overflowing, so it doesn't really matter too much, but yeah, I'm gonna rinse them down. And I want to be very thorough with the rinsing, because we don't leave any residue left. We want to make sure it's completely clean and rinse before we come in close with the other camera and judge each product. All right, so now we're switching to the other camera, and I'm just going to bring the hose over to each section in a shower pattern and just try and basically flood each of the panel sections. So the Meguiars here is where we're starting. As you can see, we're easily able to flood the entire section, and it will then slowly sheet off the water. Very slow. It may actually be a completely dead section now. What I like to do in this stage of tests, when things are starting to really slow down, found that a finger tap will try and sheet the rest off if it is still even there. So yeah, I'd say this Meguiars is on its way out. So we're at 11 months, it'll get the extra month. You can see it's like comparing it to the section here, which is untouched and down the bottom. You can see it's still there, still hanging on a little bit, but it's not looking like it was. So yeah, a 12-month claim, I'm not going to argue with that at all. Meguiars are about spot on. And this is outside. If you had a garaged car and you applied this 12 months ago, 11 months ago, it'd be looking a lot better. Now we're going to go with the Carpro section. Now, as you can see, still far too hydrophobic to completely flood. We've got all the water hitting it at the moment, and it just sheets all of that off straight away. As soon as the water stops hitting it, it's already gone. But even while the water's hitting it, it's repelling it. So very, very impressive for that product. So we come over now. Sorry about the camera bouncing a bit there. We're going to try the Gyeon section. The same thing, I'm going to go full pressure, a lot of water hitting that right now. And I feel like the Gyeon isn't quite as hydrophobic as the Carpro. So it has, these two were like pretty even. I'm going to go a little bit less water pressure. So I mean, we're not able to completely flood the Carpro, the Gyeon either, but I don't think it's quite looking as good as the Carpro anymore. So still 11 months though for a 12-month product, looking fantastic. And then lastly we have the Soft 99. Now before we rinse it, I'm just going to point out this section here has been sort of gone for a while, but we had some sections in it where it was still looking pretty good last month. So we're still going to try and flood the entire thing. So we're able to, but it is actually quite hydrophobic. This section up here is repelling the water very fast, and that's where the sheeting starts spreading from. And as you can see, other than this dead section here, still sheeting the water off better than the Meguiars did. The Meguiars, what I'll do is I'm going to move the camera to the middle and we'll just zoom out a little bit so you guys can see it all. So you can see the Meguiars still has that little section there where it never dried. That's a dead spot for sure. Sorry, where am I pointing? Here. And then for the Soft 99 over here. So yeah, I'd say those two 12-month claims on those two, I'm not going to argue with at all. I think they both lasted that. They just started to really fall off towards the end. Now when their product says it's a 12-month protection, I'm not saying they should look like these two middle ones for the entire 12 months. These still, you know, are still there. And if the car was garage that you had them on, it will be looking a little bit better. But yeah, just trying to go over all of them at once so you guys can get a good idea just how well these two middle ones lasted. And I think you can also see the difference between the Carpro and the Gyeon. So now I'm going to dry this off and we're going to come in, mist over the entire panel and sort of do another one of our tests, which is the bead test. Okay, so as you can see, we've got the panel dried off. So now going to mist over and create some nice beads. Check out what they're sort of looking like. Okay, and we'll swap over to the other camera and we'll come in nice and close and have a look. So starting off with the Meguiars. So we've got the camo pattern style beads happening now, so clearly not looking hydrophobic and nice and round beads like the Carpro, but if we compare it, it's really hard to show in person. So there's a line basically here is where the product stops. This section where there's nothing applied isn't looking quite as nice as this. So you can see the difference. It is still performing, it's doing something, but the beads aren't nice and round and tight like in this Carpro section. As you can see, they're looking really nice. So clear difference there. And then the Gyeon also looking super nice. We've got more of these sort of odd styled beads in the Gyeon section, which was clearly there was a difference when we were rinsing. There's also a difference in the beads. Like this is super round and nice and tight. This is on its sort of way out, starting to change. So this was looking basically like this, you know, last month or the last few months. And to be honest, all of them, which I hope if you haven't watched all the videos, they all started off like this, like super round tight beads. That's what they looked like at the start. As they've started to fail, they start to go like this. So yeah, back to the Gyeon here. You can see, not looking quite as good as the Carpro, which it's just a way to judge basically how the coating is lasting. Is it still beating up super nice and tight like this, or is it starting to go not as nice like this one? You can see here there's some sections where, you know, they aren't perfectly round, which as continues to, you know, happen, it ends up like this. And so yeah, in the Soft 99, which I've moved over to now, so you can see this section here, which was looking pretty good. So like, you know, there was the dead section like that. Here was looking pretty good, and you can see that's that sort of dead section. As we go across, you can see not looking quite as bad. So still looking all right. We'll pick the hose back up and we'll just go over each one. So if we come in close, as we rinse the water, it's gonna be harder because, as I was saying, my hose won't really turn off. Yeah, it really doesn't want to stop. So I think this is actually the end of this. There we go. Takes a minute. So yeah, we can see that that is letting the water sort of pool up, and then it'll slowly run away. I'm gonna have to just keep moving, I think, because the hose just won't stop spraying. Coming to the Gyeon now, that is looking very different to it was to me. The water is kind of able to kind of stick as it hits. You can see in some sections as it hits, it immediately beads up and runs away, but I'm seeing more sort of sticking of the water than what I did, because we'll come over to the Carpro and I guarantee it's going to look different. So here's the Gyeon, move over into the Carpro, and yeah, you can see the difference there. The Carpro just repelling the water so much easier. It's like, look where the water is hitting. You see it just sort of, just that split second it sort of hangs around, whereas over here, immediately runs away. Water wants nothing to do with it. And then we'll go over to the Meguiars, and yeah, you can see the Meguiars. Also, you know, it pulls up, it sticks, it eventually then runs off. But if we were to go over all of them, so starting off the Meguiars, to the Carpro, to the Gyeon, to the Soft 99. So in my mind, the Carpro has overtaken the Gyeon. At the start, I felt like the Gyeon was the most hydrophobic, and I feel like the last few months, I've felt like the Carpro has just not changed, whereas the Gyeon has started to. So pretty surprising. I'm very impressed with these two, especially, but this Carpro, the looks that it also gives. Now, I won't say it's the easiest to apply, so there's many different factors when it comes to the judging I'm going to do when I finish this test. I'm not going to give the Carpro the easiest to apply. Gyeon was easier, but if you're just going to be doing it once a year, these are the results you'll kind of get. It's probably worth that little bit extra application. You can see my hose turn itself off, so I'll stop it there. But yeah, so that's our 11-month update. Yeah, we're going to hit a year easy. Like I said at the start, panels sat outside. So, you know, a car that sits outside all day, parked in the, the driveway at night, when you go to work, it sits in the sun. That's kind of the equivalent to this panel. Yes, it's getting dirt and stuff because where I'm sitting and in the garden, it's sort of, when it rains heavy, the dirt kind of splashes onto it a bit. So it's still copying some elements, but if this was sitting on a car, it would probably, it's not a full-on realistic test, but it's as realistic as I can get. So yeah, I'm trying to give the best, best sort of showcase of what performance you'll get out of these. So yeah, that's why I like doing it on the same panel, all at once, all applied properly and washed at the same time. It's really the easiest way to get the best results and like real feedback from the products. So yeah, that's where we're at with 11 months. We'll be back in another month to do our 1 year update, which is absolutely crazy. I feel like I only started this channel like less than a year ago, but this test itself's been going for a year, so pretty nuts. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed. Definitely leave me a comment down below and give the video a thumbs up. Really appreciate that. It does surprisingly help the channel. Just engagement shown to the YouTube algorithm will then lead into showing this video and my videos to other people, so it does help every little bit. But yeah, with all that said, we're going to be back in another month and we'll give our 1 year update. So until then, I'll see you guys later.